Live streaming is on. Hi, good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? How's everyone doing today on this Tuesday, July 27th? Almost through with July, moving right through our summer. Right now, it's feeling a little more like summer. It's hot and stay cool if you need to. Drink water, protect yourself, cover your skin, all that good stuff to keep you healthy. Um, there may be Operation Cool Breeze in effect with the city. I'm not sure. I gave you a website, a link, a couple lessons back. You can look there in Classroom and find that information. Today, in writing part one, we're going to talk about verbals. What the heck is a verbal, Melody? Um, well, let's see. First, I want to show you something really good. One of my favorites, but you have to make it. I just want it to be bigger. You have to make it homemade, or it's just not the same. Okay, I lost the pie altogether. There we go. You have to make it homemade, or it's not the same thing. So why do you have this big, hot, steaming, fresh cherry pie up here? Just for fun. So, um, we're going to talk about gerbils. What is a verbal? Not a gerbil. What is a verbal, and how do we use it? We're going to start in the verbals because there's more than one type. We're going to start with something called a gerund. And a gerund is a noun that's formed by adding the suffix or the ending of ing to a verb. And so then the gerund phrase is created when a gerund, a verb that takes the ing form and acts like a noun. It has a modifier and object, or both a modifier and an object. Okay, so what is she talking about? Let's take a look at this worksheet. What is a gerund phrase? We'll start at the top. A gerund phrase is created when a gerund, which is a verb that takes an ing form and functions as a noun, has a modifier, an object, or both. So let's break this down. Here is an example of a gerund phrase in a sentence. Eating a slice of pie quickly is a recipe for disaster, particularly if it's a hot piece of pie. That could lead to even more disaster. So what we're going to do is break down the gerund phrase this way. The gerund in the sentence is eating. Okay, so a gerund is a noun that is formed by adding ing. Eating is the thing we're doing. A piece of pie quickly is a recipe for disaster. So eating is the noun, and how do we eat it quickly? So the gerund phrase in this case is a slice of pie. Eating a slice of pie, and how do we eat it, which can cause us problems if we eat it quickly. So now, how do gerund phrases work? They act like a noun. Gerunds can appear alone or band together with other words to form a gerund phrase. Collectively, all together, this phrase acts like a single noun. Both the gerund and the gerund phrase above function as subject nouns and take the third person verbal singular verb of is. Running is a favorite activity of mine. Okay. So what is the gerund? Running. Now the gerund phrase, running how? With scissors. That's our gerund phrase. And it takes the third person because we believe we're talking about ourselves, but we don't say it directly in the beginning. All right. So we could substitute a non-gerund noun such as chess to mentally confirm its function. Chess, that's the noun. What about it? It's a favorite activity of mine. Okay. So now let's take a little practice and look at our worksheet. Come on, worksheet. One moment. That is not the way I wanted this to go. Give me a second. I'm sorry. Wrong one. Give me a second because where is it? Oh, seriously? Look at all my mess, so it's not there in my documents. Oh, where did it go? Mm-mm-mm. There we go. Sorry about that. Sorry about that delay. I'm hoping this will open up. Please do. Feel free to open so we can continue our lesson. So now you see how things happen, right? Not, okay. Yes? Not always the way you planned it. Mm. Do you plan on opening up page? Okay, here we go. Very good. So we have the gerund phrase consists of a gerund, which always ends in ing, and its modifiers and complements. The gerund phrase is always used as a noun. Driving a car takes concentration. So the gerund phrase is the subject of the verb takes. Driving a car, right, is our subject. Paul finished painting the ceiling. The gerund phrase is the direct object of finished. What did he do? He finished painting. Okay, so painting the ceiling is our gerund phrase. After hiking for 2 hours, we sat down to rest. The gerund phrase is the object of the preposition after. Hiking for 2 hours. So after, what do? We hiked for 2 hours. Hiking for 2 hours, and we sat down to rest. So let's take a look at some of these phrases. In this example, brisk walking is Don's favorite exercise. So the phrase would be brisk walking. And what about it? It's Don's favorite exercise. Look at number 1. Keeping a light on in the house helps discourage robbers. So that phrase was going to be keeping a light on, right? Keeping a light or keeping a light on in the house, right? Number 2, playing bridge. Playing bridge. Mrs. Norman enjoys. What does she enjoy? Playing bridge. Okay. The next one. I remember. What did you remember? Promising Steve my old bike. Let's look at another one. Standing during a 2-hour train trip is not my idea of fun. So, what is not my idea of fun? Standing during a 2-hour train trip. There we go. Let's look at the next one. Do you like, what is it? Sailing on the lake? There's our phrase. Remember, we have our gerund, which ends with an ing. So I have done 5 for you. You don't have to do all 20, but I'd like for you to do some to get understanding As always, I have what? An answer key for you. So that's all we have for this lesson. See you in just a few minutes for part two.